The first step of today's project is to plan the project. I have drawn up some plans, but I thought it'd just be easier to tell you my plans. So all of the angles here are 60 degrees because the planter is going to be hexagonal, and for something to be hexagonal all the degrees need to be 60. So obviously all these degrees are 60. Along here that is 21 centimeters. And that is 16.5 centimeters. For one planter that is just over 20 centimeters high, I am going to need 18 of these pieces that are all identical. Now, I don't have something like a miter saw, so the next best option for me is to make a jig. Here, I have really accurately cut this piece of wood, and that is perfectly 60 degrees, which means that now if I put my saw in there and cut that, all of my cuts are going to be exactly 60 degrees, but it is still going to be an awful lot of work. The next part of the project is to make the base. I could use a large piece of plywood, but for this build I've decided to stick with more of a natural look and go with some old scrap wood. I used this wood in a different tutorial in making my tennis net, so I've decided to use it again. All I've done here is I have arranged these blocks here, and I have drawn around them. If you are making a base, you have to leave a small gap here so any water that you put in the planter can drain away. So now I've got to go and cut along these lines as accurately as I can to make the base. Now that I've finished cutting these bases, I'm just attaching these side pieces onto the base with some wood screws. That's me finished making the base, and I just cut some small feet off camera, just some pieces of scrap wood that I had lying around just to make the feet. And I didn't put it on the camera because I thought it was quite self-explanatory. The next part of the project is to begin assembly. To assemble the project, there are a few different ways that I could go about doing it. I could use glue and then screws, or maybe I could just get away with glue. But for this project, to stick with the natural look, I've decided just to use some 30mm dowel, and you can pick this dowel up in basically any DIY store. I'm just using some Gorilla Glue here to assemble these pieces. So I have finished this top section here, and I've just finished putting the dowels in. To finish this top section, I have just repeated a process that I started down at the bottom, then went on to the middle layer, and now onto the top layer. So it was just a big repeating process. There are 2 more steps left in this project. The first is we need to get some plastic lining to go inside here, so when we put the soil in and the water in, it won't just all fall out the holes in the bottom. And then the final step is of course getting this filled with soil, and then getting some plants in to make it all look lovely. But I'm really happy with how this has turned. Today's video completely finished, and if I do say so myself, it makes an absolutely stunning addition to the garden. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and share this video with some of your friends.